Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Haley with Haley Stitches, and today you are watching my 7th Flosstube, and I am so happy that you're here. As we all know, Stitch Mania is in full swing. We are officially a week in, and I am so excited to show you all of my works in progress. I'm going to show you all of those, and then at the end I have kind of a mini haul with an idea of a next project I'm going to be working on after Maynia. So definitely stick around if you're interested in seeing that as well. I am filming this video today on Sunday, so it is Mother's Day. So I just wanted to quickly wish a really heartfelt happy Mother's Day to all of those out there who mother. I know it's a really special day for you all, and I hope you're enjoying it with your family. My household is going to be fully vaccinated in 2 weeks, so I'm really excited to be able to spend time with my mom and a little bit more time with some extended family. As we all know, it's been a really lonely year, a really tough year. I think that, I don't even really have to expand on it because we all feel the same way. But it's really exciting to know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. I got my second shot on Friday, and I had not really any side effects at all, a really sore arm, just like the first shot, and then I was just really tired. So we're keeping it really casual today. I'm still a little bit on the mend, but I am definitely feeling better, and I'm happy that I'm feeling good enough to be able to film this video for you all today. I wanted to get started today with the whip that I haven't touched in the longest, which really hasn't been that long. It's only been about a week, but this project is the large colorful quilt pattern by Vivsters on Etsy. So I don't know if you guys remember, but last time I just had the let me see if I can hold this, the 3 quilt blocks and then this little motif here. So I got a little bit of this quilt block done. I only had like a week of time, the last week of April, to stitch on this, and then I started stitching on my Maynia projects. So this is how far I got with this one. It's turning out really, really nice. I'm actually really excited to start working on this again in June. I just pulled it out and ironed it to show you guys, and I just fell in love with it all over again. So this is being stitched on 18 count white Aida, and I am just stitching it 2/1. I did have a comment in, I think, my last YouTube video, and someone was asking if I was stitching over 2, and I never really considered that you definitely can stitch over 2 on 18 count. I was just doing, stitching over 1, like with the 14 count and 16 count Aida. So I am actually really liking how full coverage it is, and I chose that because this is going to be a really large piece, and that was really how I was going to make it the most manageable size without going into a higher count fabric. So I'm really pleased with how this is turning out. We won't see this one again until June, but yeah, I love the colors. I know you guys do too. It's just a really, really fun one to stitch. I highly, highly recommend stitching it if you're looking for a bigger project. And it's just so rewarding to finish just one block or one little motif. It's kind of like a mini win, and it's easy to pick back up again, especially if you just finish a whole block all together, and then you can just pick up with the next block. So yeah, I am missing this project, but I will get back into it in June. The next project I want to show you guys is Serendipity, and the 4th release came out recently, and I stitched it. It came out on Saturday, May 1st, and I stitched it, I think, May 3rd. I was previously stitching them on the days that they came out, but May 1st was my first start for Maynia, so I didn't really want to interfere with that too much, but it did take a couple hours to get caught up because I definitely want to stay caught up with this stitch along. So again, this is Serendipity. This is That Quarter Shop's charity stitch along this year. The pattern is free, and they do recommend a $15 donation to Make-A-Wish for South and Central Texas. I really, really I love the dark fabric on this one. If you guys have been with me for a while, you know that I've been stitching a lot on white Aida, and this one is a navy. So I really love the contrast that this pattern has. The colors are really, really fun, and I think they stand out so nicely against the darker background. This is a really quick stitch, so if you're looking for something that has kind of instant satisfaction, this is definitely a good one to pick up. And the releases, they're doing 1 row every 2 weeks, so all of these 4 are already released, and there's only a couple more left, so you can definitely still get in on that if this is something that you're interested in. I am using the called for DMC, and Fat Quarter Shop, they put together a DMC thread pack, so I just went ahead and bought that to make it easy. I love seeing everybody's variations of this one on Instagram. If you check out the Serendipity SAL hashtag, you can see what everybody else is doing. They also have a Weeks Dye Works thread pack that you can use too. And I really love seeing everybody's projects, especially people who are working on like a linen that are using the Weeks Dye Works thread pack. I think it's really, really pretty, and I love, I've seen a few that were pretty rustic, and I've seen a few that people are totally changing the colors altogether. And I just think everybody is so unique and has such good ideas. I almost wish that I could like go through the hashtag before I start my project so that I can get some good ideas and kind of borrow from other people. I am not totally all that creative yet with my cross stitch because I'm still a really beginner stitcher, so I guess I just haven't like exercised those creative muscles too much with adapting a pattern and making it my own, but I am excited to be able to do that soon. I'm gonna be starting the Flea Market Flowers by Holt at later in the month for Stitch Mania, and I did not buy the DMC thread pack for that one. I'm actually just gonna go to like Joann's or Michael's and pick out my own color palette. So that'll be kind of my first step into choosing my own color palette for a pattern. So I'm excited to do that and then show you guys what I come up with. I hope it turns out good. I'm sure it'll be fine. But it'll be fun to be able to kind of contribute to Stitch Along hashtag and do something a little bit different to show people like what else can be done with the pattern besides just what is written in the instructions and on the chart. Okay, now we are officially diving into my Stitch Mania projects. So I am starting a new project every Saturday of the month. So by the end of the month, I'll have 5 new starts. And I decided that I'm just gonna focus on stitching the new start for the whole week. So I'm gonna be a monogamous stitcher for the week. And the only other project that I'm gonna be working on is the Serendipity Stitch Along. So row 4 came out on the 1st, and then row 5 is coming out on the 15th. So that's really the only other stitching that I'll be doing besides what I have assigned for each week of May. So for the first week of May, I chose the pattern Fresh Cut, and this is a pattern by It's So Emma. Looks like this. And I love this one. This originally came out with their Stitch Quarterly subscription, but I did not sign up in time to be able to receive this. I actually saw everybody receive their cute little bag, and I saw the pattern and I instantly fell in love with it. So I knew I had to get my hands on it somehow. So what I did was I signed up for the Stitch Quarterly, and then I was just watching Fat Quarter Shop's Flosstube, and they said that they had like 100 left. This was maybe a month ago now. So I quickly went online and bought one, and I got everything that came with the Stitch Quarterly subscription. So that is really, really exciting. So yeah, I'll just show you the pattern one more time. So I started this on last Saturday on the 1st, and I stitched like all day Saturday, but the rest of the week was pretty light stitching. Unfortunately, I was just doing a lot of computer work and just didn't have a ton of time during the day to stitch. Typically I get stitching time on my lunch and on my breaks because I work from home, so it's pretty easy to just pull it out when I have a little bit of free time or taking my breaks. But I wasn't able to do that this week. It was just busy, you know how life goes, but I am still happy with my progress. I think I did a lot for a week of stitching. So this is how far I got. I kind of, I always start my projects on the top left-hand corner. So I kind of stitch the same way that you would read a book, and I had it in a hoop here. So that's why I did all of this. And then I was working on finishing out the top row. But then it was Friday night and I had to start my new start on Saturday on the 8th. So this is how far I got. I really, really love this one. So this pattern, it came with a Cosmo floss pack, and I've never used Cosmo threads before. I really like them. It's very, very similar to DMC in my opinion. I didn't feel too much of a difference. Yeah, it really was almost the exact same, but I love the vibrancy of the colors. Yeah, I'm sure that I could color match it to DMC, but I definitely do not have anywhere near all of the colors, so there's no way for me to really know. But yeah, I love how this one has kind of some traditional elements. It also has the quilt blocks surrounding this little motif here, and I love that. I'm always a sucker for a pattern with some quilt blocks in it. I know that a lot of people have been stitching Stitchy Stars by Holt, and I'm gonna start that one hopefully in June, because I'm wanting to do like a patriotic theme. Like, I think the pattern calls for a patriotic theme, so I am hoping to do that and have it hung up sometime before the 4th of July. But I love that one. I'm just like a huge sucker for the quilt blocks. I think that they are so cute. So yeah, this is my progress for that. It's stitched on, let's see, a 14 count. It's called Bisque Aida by Color and Cotton, I believe. And the other thing that I really, really loved about this, here, let me show you. The Stitch Quarterly subscription, it comes with a pattern, floss, a little bag, and then some notions inside. So it came with this needle minder, which matches the center motif on the pattern. But the needle is a John James brand needle, size 26. And I love this needle. I never thought that I would be, I don't know, have a preference for needles. I was like, oh, how different can they really be? But this it's thinner than the DMC needles. I've only been using DMC so far, and it just goes through the fabric so nicely. The eye is a little bit smaller, so it is a little bit harder to thread, but I am definitely gonna buy a pack of these needles because I just love how small it is. I have really, really tiny hands, so it's okay for me to have like a thinner needle. It just works well for me. So I really, really am enjoying this. I want to use it for all my projects. So I'm totally gonna buy like in bulk so that I can have more of those. Don't get me wrong, I still like the DMC needles, but I just didn't really realize how much of a difference it would make to just have the actual, like, I don't know, circumference of the needle be a little bit smaller. It just works with my hands a lot easier, and I really enjoy it. I think it glides through the fabric a lot easier. So yeah, that'll be one of my next purchases. Because it is Sunday today, that means that yesterday, Saturday, May 8th, I had a new start for Stitch Mania, and I started this pattern. So this pattern is called White and Red Flowers by StitchingLand on Etsy, and it is so beautiful. This is what the finished piece is gonna look like. I did get quite a bit of stitching time on it yesterday. Usually Saturdays are pretty stitch heavy days for me, so I can get a really good start on some things or catch up on things. So it looks like this. I posted like a picture of all my supplies on Etsy, or on Instagram, and people went wild about it. People were loving this color palette. People were loving the mint Aida. Yeah, it's just like a really, really gorgeous pattern. I'm so excited to see how it's going to turn out. And then the project bag for this, I kind of love it because it's teal and it matches the Aida. That was just an accident. This is the only other bag that I had at the time, so we went with it, and it matches cute. I love a matching bag. This bag came with the April Sew Sampler subscription. So it is quilting themed, as you can see, but I'm just using it for a cross stitch bag right now. It's actually the exact same size as the fresh cut bag, which I love. I think it's a really, really good size for a cross stitch project. What I have in here is I have a 6-inch hoop in here. So I only use the hoops when I'm using my craft stand, and otherwise I just prefer to stitch in hand. I don't think it makes that big of a difference for me and my stitching. So yeah, I only use a hoop if I'm using the stand. I do really like using the stand because I can stitch a lot faster. It's even faster for me than stitching in hand, so I enjoy that. And I can like get up and leave and just leave it there. I don't have to be so focused or anything. But yeah, this one's really cute. I don't know if they're selling it or not in their store, but if they are, I will leave a link below so that you guys can check this out. Okay, so this is the start that I got. Again, I always start on the top left-hand side, like I'm reading a book. So this is where I got so far. I was a little bit worried about this lighter green color not showing up too well, but as you can see, it definitely shows up, and it's a really nice kind of background color too. It's just for the leaves in the bouquet, so it's totally fine for me if it doesn't stand out a ton. So this pattern calls for a mint green Aida. I did have a challenging time sourcing a mint green Aida, but I ended up finding one on the Fat Quarter Shop website. So this is a 14 count mint Aida by Zweigart, and I'm really enjoying working on it. It has a really nice stiffness that I love. But one thing I didn't realize when I was purchasing it is that it's opalescent, so it has a shimmer to it. And you can probably kind of see it, but it's really, really beautiful. I was a little bit shocked when I first got it, but I think it's gonna just stitch so nicely and add a little bit of sparkle. This is gonna be like the perfect pattern to have a little bit of sparkle with too, because it's a really pretty kind of modern floral bouquet. So I think it'll be a really nice background. But yeah, isn't that such a great color? I'm not usually drawn to like the teals and the mints so much anymore. I really was a couple years ago, but I think I'm back now. Yeah, I got a couple this flower is almost all the way done. I just have some black I need to go through here, and then there's a little flower here, and then finishing this one, and then I'm pretty much done with one of the pages. So I think I'm gonna get a lot of good progress on this week. I expect to be able to stitch most of the days again, so hopefully we'll have some nice progress to show you in my next Flosstube. But I'm really happy with how this one's turning out. I'm just, yeah, super happy. I'm so excited for the finished product. It's gonna be really gorgeous. That's all I have today for my whips. I've been really happy with my progress, and I'm super excited for the rest of Maynia. So I'll just quickly walk through like what the rest of my plans for Maynia is. Again, I'm gonna do a new start every Saturday. So I started fresh cut on the 1st, on the 8th I started white and red flowers. This Saturday I'm going to be starting Garden Party by 2x2 Stitch Art. I got that pattern on Etsy. The following Saturday I'm going to be starting Flea Market Flowers by Lori Holt. And then the last Saturday in May I'm going to start Florographica by Jan Hicks Creates. So it is totally a floral theme. I am into the florals right now. I kind of always am into the florals. I don't wear a ton on my clothing or anything, but I am so drawn to floral fabric. Yeah, just flowers in general. We have some big flower boxes in our backyard that we're going to be able to plant pretty soon. It's still a little bit chilly here in Minnesota, but I'm hoping that at the end of May we'll be able to plant those and get our little flower garden going. We also have some really beautiful peonies that all of these, like the majority of the plants on our property came with the home, and everything was really, really overgrown. So we spent last summer just completely transforming the landscape on our house, and it looks so good. So we transported like almost every single plant around the house, a lot of hostas, some hydrangeas, some peonies, bleeding hearts, and a lot of daylilies. So we're really excited for this year for everything to fully bloom, because we kind of disrupted their cycle last year when we were replanting them. So this year I'm really crossing my fingers for some beautiful peonies and hydrangeas and lilies. And our bleeding hearts are like in full bloom too. I'll try to get a picture of them soon and put it on my Instagram. You can kind of check out all of that over there. I'm hoping to get some more photos up once things are in bloom. It'll be a couple weeks yet. If you want to get a little bit more in depth with my Stitch Mania plans, you can head over to my Instagram and follow me there at Haley Stitches. Or I did post a blog post on it from my previous Flosstube, so head over to my website, HaleyStitches.com, and you can check out the blog post there. Now I want to show you my kind of hauls, Stitchy related hauls. It's just a couple of things, but I am really excited about them. The first thing I want to show you is I got a new camera. So this is a Canon M50 and I am so excited. I have never owned a camera before. I did a ton of research before buying this. I've been thinking about buying a camera for like several years now. I know Haley Stitches is gonna be something that I'm gonna be wanting to do for a while. So I did want to invest in a camera. One of the main reasons was so that I can start filming on this instead of on my phone. It's really difficult for me to film on my phone because I just don't have the storage there to be able to do a lot of the video ideas that I have. So I'm waiting for my SD cards to come in the mail, and then I can start playing around with this. And the next video I have will be completely shot on this, and I think we're gonna tell a really big difference in the production and what it looks like. I know Flosstubes is not really that big of a deal, but I am planning on doing some longer form videos on my channel and some more tutorials and things like that. It's also going to be really nice to be able to take like quality photos for my blog. But yeah, it's going to be a big learning curve, and I'm really thrilled to be able to have the opportunity to not only purchase a camera like this, but be able to learn a camera like this. The next purchase I wanted to show you guys was I got a set of 3 hoops. These are 8-inch hoops, and I bought these because I saw that Xstitch MD stitches in hoops similar to this. They have like a wood veneer. These are not the exact ones that they recommend. I wanted different sizes, so the ones that Shyla recommends, it comes in 4 different sizes, but I wanted a bunch that are the same size. So these are 8-inch hoops. They have kind of like a fake wood veneer. It's really, you know, the whole thing is plastic, but what you do is you just kind of peel this guy out. They're like brand new, so they're kind of hard to work with. But yeah, this circle just peels out, and then this is what the center looks like. It's just a plastic hoop, and then you can fit the fabric to it. So my main reason for getting this was for finishing projects. I think this is gonna be like really cute to hang up a finished piece, especially with this little, let's see, little hardware here. And it looks, I mean, it really looks expensive, especially from like right here, even though the whole thing is plastic, and it was very affordable. I'll link them down below if you guys are interested in checking them out. I haven't tried stitching in these. That's not my purpose for them, but I did try to put a finished piece in here just to see what it would look like, and it does hold the fabric pretty taut once you get it centered in here, which, I mean, that's a challenge if you're gonna frame anything in a hoop, is getting it centered. So it's not too bad at all, and it just gives such a nice look at the end that I think the, you know, little bit of struggle of getting everything centered and tight is like totally worth it. So I'm happy about that. I have 3 of them, so I'm not exactly sure which projects I'm going to finish in these hoops. I don't think any of the ones that I'm working on for Stitch Mania are gonna fit in an 8-inch hoop, but I know that my National Park series will. So those will probably be the first finished ones that I finish in these. I do have a couple other patterns just sitting waiting to be stitched that I know will fit in these too. So I'm excited to sometime hopefully have a finished piece in here to show you guys. You can see what the finished piece looks like. The last thing that I want to show you guys is something that I picked up at Target. So I don't know, I said this on my Instagram stories if you're following me over there, but I was asking if people had seen those little like white embroidery kits. They're from the Target like dollar spot section, and what they are, they're just little embroidery kits, and it's like a white perforated bag, and you can cross stitch on them or embroider on them. And I've been looking at all my Targets around here. They do not have them. I know that Targets still do because I am a part of cross stitching, the cross stitching subreddit, and a couple of cross stitching Facebook groups. So people will stitch on them all the time and they're talking about them all the time, and I'm like totally missing out. So I looked on I asked my Instagram friends if anybody has seen them before in their Targets, and the majority of people said no. So I don't know where these Targets are that have these, but actually the Top Knot Stitcher had a couple in their shop. I don't know if they're sold out yet or not. They only had a handful, but I bought 2 and those are coming tomorrow, and I'm so excited about them. I have no idea what I'm gonna stitch on them, but I'm probably gonna do like some kind of tutorial or video about it just to show you all. And I had that in my mind. So I went to Target and was looking in the dollar section, and I did not find those, but I did find this. So this is what, I'll show you the empty one. This is what I found. So what it is it's a mesh travel bag, and it's totally mesh all the way through. It was $3 in the dollar section of Target, you know, like right when you walk in, and they have all that fun kind of trendy stuff. That's where it was. This is what the tag looks like. So it's just a mesh pouch, and I think the intent is like, I don't know, travel, obviously, because it has a little plane on there, but you could use it for anything really. So I bought one because I just knew that I could stitch on it and make something really cool. And it was not like those Target bags that I had seen before, but this almost is more versatile because the mesh is a lot closer together. The stitches are a lot closer together. So you could do some really intricate stuff on here if you wanted. So this is what it looked like. And then I came home and I was like, okay, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. So let's try to use it for storage for now. And then I saw I had a big like heap of DMC skeins just sitting there because I have no organization yet for skeins I'm not using. I haven't bought a tin or anything like that. And then I put them all in here and I was like, this is actually perfect. It's like a little bit bigger than the length of a skein, and these are all my skeins for the projects I have coming up. And I thought that was like really, really awesome. And just think of how cute this is gonna be once it's all cross-stitched. If you guys have any ideas for patterns that I can put on here, I would love that. I'm probably gonna pick some sort of floral. I might like adapt a pattern that I've already purchased, or I might come up with something on my own. I'm not totally sure yet. So yeah, I only bought one to start, and then I went back to Target today and I bought another one. There was like a ton more, but because I don't have like a definitive plan yet for what I'm going to stitch on them or what I'm going to do, I thought that 2 was gonna be a good amount to have for these. And then you guys, they also had some other mesh bags, and they were like the perfect size for a project bag. So I bought 2 of them, and they are here. Okay. So let me show you what these look like. These are also $3 and they come attached. So you get the big one and the little one. So let's look at the big one first. So this tag, it says my stuff. And then the small one, it says like random stuff. So, you know, that part's maybe not my favorite, but I can overlook it. So these are totally mesh bags too. This is what the tag looks like, mesh toiletry bag, 2 count, and then yeah, $3 it says right there. So this is actually like the exact same size as these bags from Fat Quarter Shop. So awesome. I was worried they were going to be a little bit too small for a cross stitch project bag, but then I got them home and compared, and they're almost the exact same size, if not maybe even a little bit bigger. So I thought like for $3 to get this size bag, and then you also get this little one too, that's probably the cheapest project bag you're gonna find outside of like a Ziploc bag or something plastic like that. And these hopefully are gonna last a lot longer than a Ziploc bag. So keep an eye out at your local Target if you're looking for some affordable project bags. I just could not pass that up. And they're totally all mesh, so you can stitch on them too. So yeah, I'm gonna have to come up with some patterns or some ideas for stitching in order to show you all like what you could do with this. But the smaller bag I thought was nice. You could totally fit your floss in here and then just tuck it into your bag, or I don't know, you could just keep them totally disconnected and maybe put like your scissors and your needle minders and your needles in here, and then just put this little one in each project bag that you're currently working on. I don't know about you guys, but I only have one set of scissors. I know a lot of people probably have like way more scissors than I do, but I just have one and they're just like a cheap like orange Fiskars. I have not upgraded to an embroidery scissors yet. I think they're all really beautiful and I really want to, but it's just not something that I've been able to do yet. So yeah, this would be great for me to have like all of my essentials in, and then I can just grab this little bag and then my larger project bag with the actual project and floss in it, so that I can have like the complete kit. But yeah, isn't that awesome? They had white and also gray, similar to the other mesh bag. I was gonna go for the gray, but I thought that white would be more versatile when I was picking a pattern. Yeah, I have no idea like what count this mesh would be. I'll have to get out a measuring tape and try to figure that out. But these, it is pretty tight together, so this would probably be stitching like over 2 in order to get the desired look I was looking for. But I'm really thrilled about this, if you can't tell. I don't know why I'm so excited, but I just think like $3 for a project bag, that is such a good deal. But I don't know, it's totally like a different vibe though from like a handmade project bag or one that is fabric. Those are obviously gonna last like way longer than something like this ever will. But I just love finding like budget items for my crafts, because as we all know, it can get super expensive. Even if you're into an inexpensive craft like cross stitch, you know, it adds up. Even though the DMC is like 60 cents at the big box store, like, you know, it adds up. So I always get thrilled when you find something like this that's easily accessible in a place like Target. Like, are you kidding? I'm thrilled. I would love to know if you guys would be interested in some kind of like tutorial or like video about me stitching on those mesh bags. I don't know if other people have an interest in that and think it's as cool as I do, but I just cannot get over the fact that I found those at Target, and I love how easily accessible they are to everybody. So it'd be really great to get some resources out there for people who maybe are thinking the same thing that I am. Well, that is everything that I have for you all today. If you want to keep up with me in between my videos, feel free to follow me on Instagram at Haley Stitches. If you want to see what's going on in my blog, you can head over to my website, HaleyStitches.com. And if you enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos just like it, please subscribe to my channel. I'll see you all next time. Bye!